I am now 4 months into my kidney transplant, and I feel like I'm finally in the clear. In the clear, as in I have everything back that I sort of was scared of losing, or not losing completely, but having taken away from me during my recovery period, right? All the things that were sort of taken away from me, and that I was like, oh man, that's going to be hard to go without those things. All of that stuff during the recovery period where I just sort of had to wait to get that back, it's now mine again. Things like working out, that's the most recent one that I've fully gained back. Working out and peeing, not just peeing normally, because I've been peeing a ton since the day I got the transplant, right? But after you get a transplant, a big thing is that you have to retrain your bladder. And that is something that I feel like didn't really come in until pretty recently, the past few weeks. Because I was able to work out, honestly, like pretty quickly after transplant, but super light. And after 3 months, my doctor cleared me to try anything that I wanted to do workout wise, activity wise. He said, go for it. I'll always, of course, just listen to my body, but go for it, right? So that's what I've been doing, and testing the waters. I've slowly been able to get back to, I don't want to say get back to where I was, but to get back to the point where I feel like I can try anything, right? And push the weights. And now it's just up to me to just go wherever I want in my fitness journey. I'm now not being hamstrung by like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do these certain movements. Maybe I should have this weight restriction, whatever. I now feel like in the workout department and the exercise department, I can do all the things I want to do, like run again too. That's something I wasn't able to do for a while. But yeah, those are the two most recent ones. I know in my 2 month update, I said a lot of the things came back pretty quickly. Like the whole period of recovery has been better, but like my mobility came back quicker. The swelling went down quicker. My like, what do you want to call it? My need to like distance myself and not incubate myself, but sort of isolate because I'm immunocompromised, that has been much less than I thought it would. And now 4 months in, now that I'm like, again, in the clear, like I said, I genuinely feel like I'm sort of as good as I'm going to get. Now it's just up to me to just stay as healthy as possible, keep the kidney going. And I know, like, I guess there's still one hurdle to get over, because I could probably fly right now and be like, okay, right? Like, as in get on a plane, fly, because it's super crowded and everything. They typically want you to be careful about germs. So they told me for 6 months after your transplant, wait to fly. And I'm sure, again, if I were to do it, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, because they sort of did say that. They're like, it's just to be on the safe side, right? So I'm waiting for that. But at the same time, it's not like I'm needing to get on flights or anything, right? So that's one thing that I sort of still need to get back, but it's not really too important, and I know it's going to come, right? And as far as something that I've sort of had back, right? I've had the ability to work. This is one thing that I've been able to probably do for a while now, but I just haven't jumped straight back into it because I want to, enjoy transplanted life, enjoy the things that were taken from me during kidney failure, and sort of just not have to feel like I have to just jump back into a normal life and get on that grind again. And I would say that that's a big feeling with me now that I don't want to say normal, but now that I'm as good as I'm going to get, right? I'm past the recovery period. I feel like I'm patched up from my transplant. It's now a weird shift of like, okay, recovery mode, dealing with the transplant. It's not like I don't have doctor's appointments anymore. I still have to take my meds and, take care of my transplant, right? But it's a shift now from like that super hyper aware of like, this transplant is my key focus in life, to like, okay, now I feel normal enough to where I need to switch to normal life. And at the end of the day, like, the transplant is still and will always be my focus for the rest of my life moving forward, right? To keep this transplant alive as long as possible. That's more important than any job, anything I could be doing, right? That is the most important thing to me because it's my health, right? It's literally the thing keeping me alive and giving me this life, right? And that's really important to hold on to. But at the same time, I still have that draw to get back to normalcy, and the draw to slide back into not a normal routine. Because honestly, like, I've been trying to think about what I want to do next, right? I'm in a very lucky position to where I get to, right? I've been making enough money to where like it's stable enough for now to where I can still enjoy myself a little bit. But I want to plan my next moves in a sense of where like I really am not even making the right choice, because I don't think you should sit there and need to make the right choice for every step in life. You can't just wait for the perfect moment or the perfect job or the perfect anything, right? You kind of just have to try things and see what sticks. But I want to make sure that I'm not just jumping into something because, like, oh, it'll pay me enough money to get me by. And I know that's a reality that, like, if I have to face that, I absolutely will, right? But at the same time, I want to really be meaningful and like use my strengths to the best of my ability, right? As in, I've always really liked teaching. That's one thing. Right now, the biggest pull that I have work-wise is like I sort of have this teaching itch that's never really gone away ever since I stopped doing it like 2 or so years ago. I mean, I taught even a little bit last year. My last proper job was like tutoring someone like through a program at my university, and I was doing it while in kidney failure, and then that's when I sort of stopped to dial back and take care of myself. But now that I'm, again, past kidney failure, transplanted, that teaching itch is coming back, and that's something that I'm like, that's always been super meaningful to me. That's the closest thing I have to a calling, if there is one. And I'm thinking about that, right? But I'm also thinking about how else I can just apply that, like teach in a way, because I'm doing stuff like on here and on my TikTok, which I'm not saying is like super educational, you know what I mean? I think people learn from my videos, but it's not the same kind of education, if that makes sense, as like numerical and like school teaching. And that's not really important. You don't really need to make this large differentiation between the two. If it's an informational exchange, right, an exchange of knowledge, that's valuable, right? That's valuable. And I like to think I'm supplying that. But that teaching, I really like working with kids, and I've just been thinking about that. But I've also been thinking about trying to, maybe I've always been really into fitness, and maybe getting into some like personal trainer type path. I think that would be really cool, because that's also a sort of a way of teaching, right? Helping someone on their physical journey. That's a really important thing that's always been so close to me. And I think now that I'm transplanted and been through with all of that experience, I think that could be so valuable in that type of setting, right? And then also in like, I don't know, just any teaching setting, right? I know the, if you want to call it the like value of life, you know what I mean? From all the experiences and perspectives I've had, I now know, like, I don't know, I like to think I can just bring it back to the basics of the things that really matter. And I think that's helped me in like everyday interactions, but I think also that would really help me in a teaching setting, as in like a classroom and whatnot. So yeah, those are the two things that I've been thinking about the most about work-wise now that I'm normal again. But at the same time, I worked plenty of those sort of similar jobs while in kidney failure. But now I just want to make sure that I'm, picking that right path and really going to enjoy it and make the most of this like new lease on life. And there really is a weird pressure of that, to become normal again after being sick for so long, for having such a weird routine, which I did plenty in, started, finished grad school, worked, traveled. My life was pretty normal per se in kidney failure as far as kidney failure goes. But now that like part of it's removed, now there's just a weird shift that I feel. And that's, I feel like, a whole nother topic entirely that I could talk about. And I probably will pretty soon in another video, because I feel like I've been yapping long enough. But yeah, I just feel that pressure now of like, okay, now that I'm, again, 4 months in, feeling like I'm in the clear, I kind of got to like plan for what's next, and obviously still enjoy this and take care of my transplant first and foremost. But I do like just have that pull to like do things again, right? Do more than I'm just like doing right now, because I'm still doing plenty, but I just have that desire to do as much as I can with this, new lease on life.